이런 것도 조그 셔틀로요. 이렇게 돌리기만 하면 오른쪽 왼쪽으로 돌리면 보이시죠? 이게 지금 오른쪽으로 돌리니까 내려갔고요. 왼쪽으로 돌리면 올라갑니다. 무릎 높이만큼 더 올라가게 되면
네.
정말 좋은 상태라 그래요. 이게 몸이 편안하게 된 상태. 그러니까 이게 그라비티라고 저희가 하는데
네.
이 상태에서 받으면서 최적화된 나만의 힐링 그런 공간이라는 걸 느낄 수가 있어요. 여기다가 이제 지금 방송 중이라서 음악을 안 틀어놨는데 음악까지 들으면서 하면 뮤직 테라피. 어디서 이 가격에 이런 호사를 누리겠어요?
seated.
Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk.
Aloha and good afternoon. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative James Kunane Tokioka. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Oh, please be seated. Thank you. Good morning and aloha, everyone. Today, for me, is a very special day because today is the first day of the Masters. And I know the representative from West Kauai loves golf, so do many others of you in here. But when I think of today and I think of the Masters, we, the old guys, we think of the Masters, and we think of Representative Bob Herkes. Bob used to come to the floor every single year with his green jacket, his passion for life, his passion for golf, his passion for his family, and we miss him very much. And when I think of Bob and how much I miss him, I think of the others who I've had the honor to serve with, who are no longer with us, and how much we miss them as well. I think of Representative Bob Nakasone, how he was a mentor to many of us. I think of Cliff Suji the same way. I think of Melly Carroll, who was so passionate about Hawaiian issues and was a great friend to all of us. I think of Mark Takai, as the representative from Pearl City talked about the other day. I think of Joe Bertram III, who was a classmate, and we all served, and had a great time with Joe. He was a happy soul. And of course, for me, I think of Representative Ezra Kanohu, whose seat I occupy now. So in honor of these former colleagues and friends, let me share this prayer. E Pulikako. Dear Lord, please give the senior members the courage to be patient, and for the less senior members, the patience to be courageous, and for all of us, just be kind. God bless you all. Aloha.
Thank you, Representative. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Aquino, Ms. Bellotti, Mr. Bronco, Ms. Clark, Ms. Costales,
Excused.
Ms. Eli, Mr. Ganaden, Mr. Gates, Ms. Har, Mr. Hashem, Mr. Hashimoto, Mr. Holt,
Excused.
Ms. Ichiyama,
Excused.
Mr. Iligan, Mr. Johansson, Ms. Capella, Ms. Kitagawa, Mr. Bertrand Kobayashi, Mr. Dale Kobayashi,
Excused.
Mr. Kong, Mr. Lopresti, Ms. Lowen, Ms. Luke, Ms. Martin, Mr. Matayoshi, Ms. Matsumoto, Mr. McDermott, Mr. McKelvey, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura, Mr. Nakashima, Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Ono, Ms. Okimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso, Mr. Quinlan, Mr. Saiki, Mr. Sayama, Mr. Takayama, Mr. Takumi, Mr. Tam, Mr. Tarnas, Mr. Todd, Mr. Tokioka, Mr. Ward, Ms. Wildberger,
Here.
Mr. Woodson, Mr. Yamane, Mr. Yamashita, Mr. Speaker.
Here.
Mr. Speaker, 47 members are present, 4 are excused.
Thank you very much. Reading of the journal, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. Are there any messages from the governor?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. Are there any Senate communications?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of communications transmitting the noted Senate concurrent resolutions, all having been adopted in the Senate. We are in further receipt of communications returning the noted House bills, both having passed third reading in the Senate.
Thank you very much. Representative Belatti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to disagree to the amendments made by the Senate to the noted House bill.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. This will be by voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Members, are there any announcements? Yes, Representative Peruso.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to introduce to the body one of my interns for the Keiki Caucus Legislative Internship, Jason Alento. Jason, if you could please rise, and he's accompanied by John Bossian. Please welcome to your House of Representatives, and if you can give them a round of applause, please. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Further introductions? Yes, Representative Branco.
It's with great pleasure, as a proud Portuguese American, I'm proud to introduce Mr. Pedro Pinto, the Consul General from the Portuguese Foreign Ministry here, and also the Portuguese Honorary Consul in Honolulu, Tyler dos Santos Tam.
Thank you, Representative. Any further introductions? If not, members, recess.
Majority Caucus in the auditorium.
Will the House come to order? Members, we're on item number 5, reports of standing committees. Representative Belatti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report numbers 1691-22 through 1765-22 as listed on pages 1 through 22, and that the accompanying House resolutions and House concurrent resolutions as may be amended be adopted.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Members, page 1, Stand Camera Report number 1691, discussion. 1692 and 1693. 1694 and 1695. 1696, 1697. Yes, Representative McDermott.
I stand in support, Mr. Speaker.
Support. Please proceed.
Just a note, more of a point of information. In our community, we have a lady by the name of Carol Hickerson, whose husband was shot down in 1965 or 1966. You participated in this, actually honored her on the House floor several years ago. When her husband was shot down, she got together with Sybil Stockdale, Admiral Stockdale's wife, where he was also a POW at that time. And these two ladies started what was called the National League of Families to get information on the POWs and MIAs, KIAs, etc. Carol Hickerson and Sybil Stockdale started that. Carol designed the logo for the National League of Families, which someone took and put on a flag. And now we have the POW MIA flag. And Carol's a resident of Nuano, and she's married to Captain Jim Hickerson, who was a POW. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Representative Ward.
Mr. Speaker, strong support.
Strong support. Please
And
proceed.
may the words of Captain McDermott be entered into the journal as my own.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? If not, thank you. We're going to move on to Downcome Report numbers 1698 and 1699. 1700, 1701, 1702, 1703, 1704, 1705, 1706, 1707.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, Representative Aquino.
can we go back to the previous two resolutions, please?
Yes, Representative Aquino. Would that be 1704 and 1705?
Yes.
Yes.
In support, written comments in the journal, please.
In support?
Yes, in support.
In support.
In
Yes.
support.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Members, still on 1704 and 1705, discussion. Thank you, members. 1706 and 1707. 1708 and 1709, Representative McKelvey.
No vote, Mr. Speaker.
So
Both
ordered.
measures.
Thank you very much. Further discussion? If not, thank you, members. 1710 and 1711. 1712, 1713, 1714 and 1715. 1716. Representative McDermott.
No vote, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? If not, thank you, members. Standing report numbers 1717 and 1718. Representative Ward.
Speaker, I think I missed 1716. If we may, at the appropriate time, go back.
Yes, let's finish 1717 and 1718, then we will go back to 1716. Any discussion on 1717 and 1718? If not, Representative Ward, 1716.
Thank you, Speaker. In all due respect to the author of this, I'm getting closer to being a yes vote on this, except I believe it's a little bit out of the context of where we are in terms of the grassroots evidence of this. Why I'm saying that is, it's with the McKinley High School, for example, it was a individual or a small number of individuals who said, hey, this is a bad idea. McKinley High School should not be named McKinley High School. And then when the alumni heard of that, they said, oh, wait a minute. And right now in the hearing that we had regarding Captain Cook becoming no longer Captain Cook, there is a petition by which was signed by 2,600 people, but there was not evidence that they were people from the area. And then there was other testimony in the hearing that there was narratives that said, you know, people love Captain Cook. Regardless of the history, we have to learn from history, et cetera. So the point is, Mr. Speaker, this is a good bill if it comes from the grassroots. It's got to be the people in Captain Cook who say, yeah, we no longer want to be called this. And that's my only reservation. It's well intended, but unless we do the McKinley High School processing, this is premature. It should be the people who are under that jurisdiction and their decision, not just a handful of people. And if that can be proven, I will certainly change my vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Representative Capella.
There are a number of community individuals, as well as
Representative Capella, in support.
in support, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much. There are a number of community individuals who have come forward, talked about, and even testified in front of the committee on how important this measure is. It absolutely is grassroots, and it comes from the individuals who were born and raised, have ancestral ties to Ka'avalua. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? If not, we've already covered 17, 17, and 17.
Speaker.
I'm sorry, Representative Tokioka?
No vote.
No vote, so ordered. Okay, members, we're still on 1716. Any further discussion? 1716. If not, thank you. We've covered 1717 as well as 1718. We're on 1719 and 1720 discussion. 1721, 1722, 1723, 1724, 1725, and 1726. Representative Tokioka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In strong support.
Strong support, please proceed.
And if anyone deserves to have something named after him before he passes, it's the guy on this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Representative Ward.
Speaker, also in strong support.
Strong support.
And I would commend the last speaker for his introduction, his prayer, his mentioning of Representative Ito, which I think I can say by specificity. But I also want to thank the introducer. This is a gesture of graciousness. It's a gesture of, hey, even though this was your opponent, he deserves this. So congratulations to the author of this as a model for us to be treating each other in a very civil way. And this is a great thing to bring to the attention of this body. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? Yes, Representative Parr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In strong support.
Strong support, please proceed.
First of all, I do want to thank the author of this resolution. For those of us who are privileged to work with the former representative, he was truly a mentor, and he was a kind human being, and he really taught us about statesmanship. He did a lot for the Windward side, and while the introducer is his successor, he does arguably have big shoes to fill. So with this, in strong support, thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? Okay, if not, thank you very much. We're going to move on to stand camera report numbers 1727 and 1728. Discussion. 1729 and 1730. 1731 and 1732. 1733 and 1734. Representative Ward.
Strong support. Comments in the journal, please.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? If not, thank you. Stand camera report numbers 1735 and 1736. 1737 and 1738. 1739, 1740. 1741 and 1742. Representative Ward.
No vote, Speaker.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? If not, thank you. Stand camera report numbers 1743 and 1744. Stand camera report number 1745. Stand camera report number 1746. 1747.
Mr.
Representative
Speaker?
Caruso, followed by Representative Wahlberger.
No vote, please. And on the following two stand-con reports as well.
So ordered. Thank you. Representative Wahlberger, followed by Representative Capella.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No vote, please, on the next three HCR3, HCR4, and HCR5. No on all three. Thank you.
Let's take it one at a time so I make sure I get the count right. No vote on 1747 for Wahlberger. And anything else to add? If not, thank you.
I'll wait for the next two. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Representative. Representative Capella?
No vote, please.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, 1747.
Mr. Speaker, to your right.
Representative McKelvey.
Thank you. Same request as the representative from Wahiwa. No vote on this reso and the next two.
So ordered. Thank you very much, Representative. Any further discussion? Okay, if not, we're going to move on to stand camera report number 1748, I believe we're registering a no vote from McKelvey and Wildberger on 1748. Further discussion. Representative Russo, followed by Representative Capella.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Representative Capella? No vote? Okay.
Yes, thanks.
We've got that. No vote. Further discussion, 1748. Thank you, members. Stand-Come report number 1749, I've got a no vote for Wildberger and McKelvey. Is that correct? Okay, Representative Capella, followed by Representative Russo.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Representative Russo.
Same request.
So ordered. Thank you very much. Still on 1749, further discussion. If not, thank you, members. Stand-Come report numbers 1750 and 1751. 1752 and 1753. 1754 and 1755. 1756 and 1757. 1758 and 1759. 1760 and 1761. Representative Capella.
With reservations, please.
So ordered. Further discussion? Thank you, members. Stand-Come report numbers 1762 and 1763. Representative McDermott.
Mr. Speaker, I stand in strong support.
Strong support. Please proceed.
I thank the authors of this resolution, and it's requesting the United States Department of Defense to prepare a plan to decommission Red Hill Fuel Facility. Why do we have to do that, Mr. Speaker? We don't own it. We don't control it. It's not ours. I take such gratitude to this body for actually doing this, articulating what must be done, because the federal government hasn't done this, and we're the ones telling them they need to do it. They shouldn't be doing it themselves. And I just want to reiterate, there's no estimated time closure of this facility. There's no even estimated begin date on when they're going to close it down. As we saw last week when the 30 gallons was released. In the past, last Friday, there was 30 gallons released in the afternoon. I'm sure you folks know that. That wouldn't even have made the news. We wouldn't even paid attention to it. Now some poor fellow lost his career over it, and I just want to note for a moment the impact that that has on that gentleman. He's been here less than a year. He inherited a 100-year-old system which hasn't been maintained properly, clearly, and is fatigued and cracks all over the place. And less than a year he's there, and now they had to put a sacrificial lamb out there, so they gave this guy up. For the rest of his life, he's going to carry this around because this was his big major command in '06. He wants to become an admiral, right? He's a colonel, and they fired him. He's going to get a desk job somewhere for 2-3 months and then retire, but he's going to carry this the rest of his life. That's just an aside, but I support the measure. I support what the body's doing. It's a shame that we're the ones leading this charge, but we are nonetheless. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion on Stand-Come report numbers 1762 and 1763. Representative Gonerden.
In strong support.
Strong support. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this resolution is the work of your Red Hill Committee. It is the intention of this House to hold the U.S. Department of Defense and the Navy accountable for the significant and foreseeable costs to the state moving forward. It is the further intention of this House to ensure that the United States Department of Defense, the Navy, and others remediate the damage caused to the southern Oahu Basal Aquifer, land surrounding the Red Hill Bulk Fuel Storage Facility, and Pearl Harbor. In early May, pursuant to the existing court order, the United States Navy is going to be giving a report to the State Department of Health as well as the body, as well as the Board of Water Supply and the community. What we hope to see in that report is a description of the accident as it happened. We can hope to see a description of the oversight that the Navy had with a variety of federal contractors, the incident that happened on May 6th, which led later to an incident that happened on May 20th, which led later to the poisoning of the water supply that fed 93,000 human beings. We can also hope to see some continued oversight, some changes in progress and some discussion for how they might remediate this. If we don't see that, it is likely that we will have to come back next year to discuss how we're going to pay for all of this. How, if the Board of Water Supply is going to be issuing a moratorium on water permits throughout urban Honolulu, how that will affect water payers who are existing water users, how it will affect permits moving forward, and how the Board of Water Supply will discuss how it's going to do those new water permits equitably. This is going to be of great concern to our economy, to the state, and to the county. Again, thank you for passing this measure, and we continue to serve this body.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members? Representative McDermott, second time, still in
Yes,
support?
yes, Mr. Speaker, and my colleague has done tremendous thinking, the gentleman who previously spoke, tremendous thinking out of the box on how this is going to affect our water usage going forward, this catastrophe that's happened at Red Hill, and how the permitting allocation, I mean, I chatted with him, and he's thinking 2 steps ahead how this is going to affect us here locally. But I'm still stuck in the mud, so to speak. One thing I don't want to do is blame the Navy, because they do what they're told. They work for us. They'll do what we tell them. We tell them to shut it down, they'll shut it down. We just got to put it in writing. We have to tell them what to do. They work for us. We own the Navy. They work for the President, the Secretary of the Navy, the Secretary of Defense, and the policies is developed by Congress, like we develop policy here, and then they implement it. So we're waiting on Congress to tell them to shut it down. Congress has not told them to shut it down and attach money to it yet. That's why we're doing it. We're telling them, hey, shut it down. So I just want to be careful blaming the men and women in uniform, because they do what they're told. And if the president, Joe Biden, is our president, he's also, I believe, a member of your party, Mr. Speaker, he could close this thing down tomorrow.
Yes, Mr. McDermott, party has nothing to do with this, the resolutions.
Let's figure he doesn't, I don't know what party he's a member of then, but he could shut it down tomorrow. He's the president, okay? The president could shut it down tomorrow. Secretary of Navy could shut it down tomorrow. When you get to the Secretary of Defense, he can kind of pause it, but he doesn't have the ability to do these things, neither do the other two, quite frankly, without the money from Congress to shut this down. It's going to cost money, $4 to $10 billion. We got $1 billion proposed coming in a proposed budget, which I think, that's asked for to defuel, but not to decommission. Those words are important, and they're missing. When you talk about shutting it down, it's decommissioning. Defueling is just emptying them, cleaning it up, fix the puka, find the puka, and reapply for a permit. That's what the order says. I've read the order. In any case, I just don't want us to blame the men and women in uniform, because they do what we tell them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members? Representative Ward?
Speaker, support.
Support, please proceed.
Very simply and briefly, this is about clean water for Hawaii Kai in my district and for every district on this floor, in the Senate, in the City Council. Short of clean water, Mr. Speaker, we don't have too much going for us. So this is a very imperative, must-pass bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members? Yes, Representative Bert Kobayashi.
Mr. Speaker, in support.
In support, please proceed.
I support the resolutions, but if anything, they do not go far enough. The Navy is currently preparing a plan to decommission and defuel on its own terms. It is not following the State Department of Health order, which was given last year, that the plan be prepared by an independent consultant. The consultant that the Navy has chosen seems to be quite qualified, but Department of Health is contesting that this consultant may not be independent. Further, the Navy has not accepted that the State Department of Health has the authority per federal legislation regarding underground storage tanks to order the Navy to decommission and defuel. That issue is hung up in the courts and likely not to be decided in context with the Red Hill situation. So this resolution is fine, but there are other loose ends still to be tied. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Representative Lepresti.
In support.
In support, please proceed.
I'd like the words of the previous speaker entered in the journal as if they're my own.
So ordered.
As well as the representative from Kalihi.
Also, so ordered. Thank you very much, Representative. Any further discussion, members? If not, thank you very much. We're going to move on to Stand Committee Report number 1764, discussion. 1765, discussion. Okay, members, if there's no further discussion, we'll be taking a voice vote on these resolutions. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules of the House in order to consider certain Senate bills for third reading by consent calendar.
Thank you very much. Representative Matsumoto.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. This will be by voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report numbers 1766-22 through 1797-22 as listed on pages 22 through 29, and that the accompanying Senate bills pass third reading.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Members, page 22, Stand-Com Report number 1766, discussion. 1767, 1768, 1769, 1770, 1771, 1772, 1773, 1774, 1775, 1776, 1777, 1778, 1779, 1780, 1781, 1782, 1783, 1784, 1785. Representative Lepresti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Reservations?
So ordered.
Some comments. I want to just note for you, Mr. Speaker, that this legislation has been consistently opposed by the Society for Hawaiian Archaeology. Now, my paternal grandparents were both archaeologists, Mr. Speaker, and archaeology is a science. And I do think that if we respect science, we would listen to scientists and not create policies that try to create unachievable things for science. So I support the intent, as does the Hawaiian Society for Hawaiian Archaeology, but this bill actually creates loopholes. Instead of maintaining fines for people who damage or developers who damage historical properties, this creates a loophole to say that they're only going to be fined if they damage pre-contact historical properties, which the Society for Archaeology is saying is not entirely scientifically definable by the mechanisms that they have to do that sort of thing. So the intent is totally a support, as again does the Society, but it creates loopholes, and it also creates possibilities for ambiguities in court. It actually could create more court challenges and these things that get very sloppy, and we're going to have to come back and fix this if this passes. So for now, I'm reservations, if only because I want to get on the conference committee to be a continued part of that conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members? Yes, Representative Peruso.
Same request.
So ordered. Thank you very much. Any further discussion, members? Again, Stand-Com Report number 1785. If not, thank you, members. Moving on, Stand-Com Report number 1786, discussion. 1787, 1788, 1789, 1790, 1791, 1792, 1793, 1794, 1795, 1796. Yes, Representative Nakamura.
With reservation.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? We're on 1796. If not, thank you, members. Standing Committee Report number 1797, discussion. Okay, if there's no further discussion, let's go to Representative Morikawa for the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the measures before us, all majority members vote aye with the exception of the following. On page 29, Standcom Report number 1796, SB number 3106, ST2 HD1, the following vote no. Hashimoto, Capella, Bert Kobayashi, Martin, McKelvey, Peruso, Takumi, and Todd. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Representative Matsumoto for your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the measures before us, all minority members vote aye.
Thank you very much. For remote participants, any no votes?
None. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Members, have all votes been cast? Have we missed any no votes? Appearing that all votes have been cast, said Senate bills pass third reading. Representative Belatti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report numbers 1798-22 through 1831-22 as listed on pages 30 through 37, and that the accompanying Senate bills pass third reading.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Members, top of page 30, Standing Report number 1798, discussion. Representative Yamani.
Mr. Speaker, standing in strong support.
Strong support, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our Finance Chair. Mr. Speaker, your special committee on Red Hill, as well as this body and the Senate and the Department of Health, all are committed to making sure that we hold the Department of Defense Navy responsible for all costs associated. However, due to the emergency response, it impacted the department by $1.5 million. This $1.5 million in this emergency appropriation, in constant discussion with the administration as well as with finance, came up with this response so that we can continue to have Department of Health respond to this crisis, Mr. Speaker. So again, thank you for all the support.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, Representative Ganaden.
In strong support,
Strong support, please proceed.
I have the words of the previous speaker entered into the journal as if they were my own.
So ordered. Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion? If not, thank you very much. Standing Report number 1799, discussion. Representative McKelvey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand in strong support of the measure.
Strong support, please proceed.
And I was recently on Molokai, and we got to visit with the good people there, including the Molokai Community Health Center, and they told us some very tragic stories which could have easily been avoided had they had the ambulance there on the island. So I'm very grateful to the author of this measure, and I'm sure the community is as well, and I wanted to stand with them in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion on the measure before us? If not, thank you very much. Members, going to move on to Standing Report number 1800, discussion. Yes, Representative Presti.
In opposition.
Opposition, please proceed.
With respect to the chair, I do support every aspect of this bill except for one key aspect, and that is legislating curriculum. Mr. Speaker, I believe that faculty and education professionals should be in charge of determining curriculum, not legislators like us. I do think we need more computer science resources. I think that the Board of Education should do that, and I think part of the reason we're looking at legislation for this is because the Board of Education is no longer an elected body, and they're no longer accountable to the people. So that's the root cause, but as an educational professional, I have to object and say no. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members? Representative Woodson.
Thank you, Speaker. In support?
In support, please proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Per the previous speaker, I appreciate his comments. There is always a healthy discussions that happen between boards, legislatures, other bodies that deal with education. It's an emotional topic. But when it comes to situations that will move our state forward, if they have statewide impact, then that is within the legislature's authority to move in that direction. And we know, Speaker, that one of the things that are incorporated into many high-performing public school systems is that they actually align formalized curriculum with marketplace need. And so, as in previous sessions, Speaker, there has been some gentle movement to focus on the space of CTE and computer science, because we want to make sure that our kids can also capitalize on those types of opportunities. And so, yes, the board can make that decision, but also the legislature can as well, and it's consistent with past bills that have passed regarding the same topic. So for that reason, I stand in support.
Thank you very much, Representative. Any further discussion, Representative McKelvey?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand in support as well.
Support. Please proceed.
Would just like the words of the Chair of Education entered in the journal as if they were my own.
So ordered.
And would like permission to insert written Python code into the journal.
So ordered.
And 1 = 1, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members? If not, thank you. We're going to move on to Senate Report number 1801. Discussion 1801. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to vote no on this measure.
Please proceed. In opposition?
In opposition. The private activity bonds, right now we have a ceiling every year from the federal government of $328 million. Previously, we have been told that this doesn't affect the state at all, that we should just go ahead and approve special purpose revenue bonds because it won't affect very much. The Vice Chair of Housing and myself have, and others have done a deep dive into private activity bonds over the interim and during this session, and we found out that there is a huge impact for each and every special revenue bond that this body approves, and that for every dollar taken away, we lose the opportunity of doubling the revenues that we receive from the federal government through low-income housing tax credits. So it's very important to scrutinize each and every one of these SPURBs that are not health-related, and to be laser-focused. If we want to solve our affordable housing crisis, we must use the resources at our disposal to build as many homes as possible. We have developers who have projects. We have a lot of feasible projects that are applying for very few of these bonds. So I stand in opposition, and I hope that if over the next 6 years, if we focus on using private activity bonds for affordable housing, we can build close to 10,000 units over the next 6 years. So standing in opposition to this bill.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members? Yes, Representative Hashimoto.
Speaker, in opposition.
Opposition, please proceed.
I'd like the Chair of Housing remarks entered into the journal as if they were my own.
So ordered.
And I think I do want to expand just a little bit. I think, you know, the House is really taking the lead in trying to figure out, in collaboration with the Senate, and trying to figure out what are we going to do for the future of our ceiling, our private activity bond ceiling. And I think this is the first step. We don't want to issue any more SPURBs. That's the first step. I think we're going to try and pass a law this year that will try and clean up the bond cap, because I think when we talk to the Hawaii Housing and Finance Development Corporation, they always tell us we don't have enough bond cap to issue the low-income housing tax credit. So we're committed to the cause. I think we need to stay as a laser focused on housing. It's when you take a look into our community, that's the biggest issue, and it'll continue to be the biggest issue. And so I think this entire body needs to make that commitment and ensuring that we stay focused on that issue. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Further, Representative McKelvey, followed by Representative LaPresti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, too, am also going to vote no on this measure. I still have to turn my green slip in, and would like the words of the Chair of Housing entered into the record as if they were my own, and thank her for the work that she's doing in pointing this out to the members.
So ordered. Thank you. Representative LaPresti.
No vote as well.
So ordered.
And I'd just like to say I'm repeatedly impressed by the Chair of the Housing's acumen that she brings to this job in educating the fellow members, and I want to thank her. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Yes, Representative Tam.
No vote.
No
and
vote.
I would like to have the remarks from the Chair of Housing and the Vice Chair of Housing inserted into the journal as if they were my own.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Any further discussion? Representative Matayoshi.
Reservations, just for the reason, nothing against this project, that's the subject matter of this bill, just for the reasons outlined by the Chair of Housing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. So ordered. Further discussion? If not, thank you very much, members. Top of page 31, stand camera report number 1802, discussion. 1803, 1804, 1805, 1806, 1807, 1808, 1809, 1810. Representative Prusso.
I rise in strong opposition.
Strong opposition, please proceed.
I think that this bill makes clear that we have a lot of work to do with respect to the exiting of our state by big GMO seed companies, a process which has begun on the island of Kauai and will likely continue. I think that we clearly need to lay out in our license agreements more careful control of the terms of those exits, because right now it looks to me that we are being taken advantage of, and that we are paying $5 million to have the use of a facility that should be reverting to the state. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In support.
In support, please proceed.
When I first heard about this proposal, I felt this is a great idea to finally, as written in the bill, promote locally grown food, teach students about growing food and aspects of agriculture. This idea of an innovation center is an opportunity for Kauai schools to establish a wellness center, a partnership with other organizations to teach our next generation about food sovereignty and entrepreneurship, enter into agreements with businesses and community partners to use their equipment, expertise, experience to create classrooms where teachers and students learn and work alongside industrial professionals, and to get local food into our schools. The big question is the cost to acquire this facility and whether the funds will be utilized efficiently to make this happen. If this should pass, and since the funds would be appropriated to the Department of Education, it is my hope that the department can negotiate a reasonable cost to acquire the assets that are already placed on state lands and have sufficient funds to accomplish this proposal. Because there is no doubt that we need to move in this direction of agriculture innovation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion? Yes, Representative Woodson.
Speaker, in strong support.
Strong support, please proceed.
Asking comments to go into the journal, please.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? If not, thank you. We're going to move on to stand camera report number 1811. Discussion. 1812. 1813. 1814. 1815. 1816. 1817. And 1818. 1819. 1820. 1821, 1822, 1823, 1824. Representative Lopresti.
Ruling on a potential conflict of
Please
interest.
state your potential conflict.
My spouse is a teacher.
No conflict. And this ruling will be good throughout the end of this session.
Thank you, and may this stand for the following item as well.
No conflict, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're on stand camera report number 1824. Further discussion? If not, thank you, members. Stand camera report number 1825, 1826, 1827. Representative Ward.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise in opposition.
Opposition, please proceed.
Thank you. This is about ranked choice voting. This is probably the third or fourth time that this bill has come before this body. And it's to make complex what is otherwise simple. There's nothing wrong with first past the posts. If there's anything wrong with our voting or elections, it's always like what's free and fair, et cetera. It's not the system itself. The problem with ranked choice voting is people don't know what it is. I've asked so many people, can you explain it to me? In fact, my office, as I said earlier on this floor, asked me to explain it, and I got halfway through, and I said, well, call the Office of Elections. The Office of Elections couldn't explain what it is. So how can we expect our constituents, Mr. Speaker, to say this is good? The point is, this is confusing. It's sophisticated. It's a bit of a fad in some places. But this is not needed. This is going above and beyond for a reason that I don't understand, even though I should say for the record, every time it's come up, it's failed, and it deserves to fail because it's going to be confusing to the people who otherwise vote for us or against us in a very simple way. We like, we don't like, not, oh, we want to know who's in block number one. Can you imagine running a track meet with, well, this is the first place runner, and then these guys, because of that one, gets to be knocked out and they get their votes. It's very sophisticated. If you're an Australian, you get used to it. But it's kind of like putting a metric system at the gas pumps. America maybe, 5 or 10 years ago said, yeah, we're going to use the metric system and we're going to use meters instead of gallons, or liters instead of gallons. And they put it in all the pumps, and then suddenly after they pumped gas for a while, they said, hey, this is crazy. I don't even know and understand it. So ranked choice voting is rank. And I think it eliminates choices that are very clear-cut for the people of Hawaii. For those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I think we're beating around the bush in the wrong direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members, on this measure? Okay, if not, members, stand come report number 1828, discussion. Representative Belatti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just point of inquiry, I had previously disclosed a potential conflict, and I just want to make sure that the ruling of no conflict carries over on this measure.
Please state your potential conflict.
My law firm has a claim in this bill, but I have not been working on any of the matters related to this claim.
No conflict. Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion, members, we're on 1828.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Representative McKelvey.
Just a no vote, if you don't mind.
So ordered. No vote from McKelvey. Further discussion, 1828. If not, thank you, members. 1829. 1830. 1831. Okay, members. Let's go to Representative Morikawa for the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the measures before us, all majority members vote aye with the exception of the following. On page 30, Stand Com Report number 1800, SB number 2142, SD1 HD1, the following vote no, Lopresti and Peruso. Stand Com Report number 1801, SB number 3280, SD1 HD1, the following vote no, Hashimoto, Holt, Capella, Lopresti, McKelvey, Nakamura, Peruso, and Tam. On page 32, Stand Com Report number 1808, SB number 2195, SD2 HD1, McKelvey votes no. On page 33, Stand Com Report number 1810, SB number 3096, SD1 HD2, the following vote no. Capella, McKelvey, Peruso. Stand Com Report number 1813, SB number 3205, SD1 HD1, Peruso votes no. On page 35, Stand Com Report number 1820, SB number 3334, SD2 HD1, Peruso votes no. On page 36, Stand Com Report number 1827, SB number 2162, SD1 HD1, the following vote no. Gates, Kong. On page 37, Stand Com Report number 1828, SB number 3041, SD2 HD1, following vote no. Har, McKelvey. And Stand Com Report number 1831, SB number 2695, SD2 HD1, Capella votes no. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Representative Matsumoto, for your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the measures before us, all minority members vote aye, with the exception of the following. On page 36, SCR 1827, SB 2162, SD1, HD1, Representatives Matsumoto, McDermott, Okimoto, and Ward vote no.
Thank you very much. Remotely, Representative Wahlberger, did we get your no votes?
All set, Mr. Speaker.
We're good. Thank you very much. Members, have we counted all of your no votes? Are we missing any no votes? Okay, appearing that all votes have been cast, said Senate bills pass third reading. Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report numbers 1832-22 through 1839-22 as listed on pages 38 through 40, and that the accompanying Senate bills as may be amended pass second reading and be placed on the calendar for third.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Members, top of page 38, Stand Camera Report number 1832, discussion. 1833, 1834, Representative Tokioka.
Reservation, Speaker.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? If not, thank you. Stand Camera Report number 1835. 1836, Representative Ward.
Speaker, point of information or point of personal privilege. Would the majority leader take a question regarding the meaning of this bill and its contents to be understood correctly?
Let's take a short recess. Recess.
Members of the House, please be seated.
Will the House come to order? Members, we're still on Stand-Come Report number 1836. Any further discussion on Stand-Come Report number 1836? Yes, Representative Capella.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, 1836. If not, we move on to Stand-Come Report number 1837, discussion. Representative Ward.
Speaker, a couple of things. First, I'd like to withdraw my question to the Majority Leader.
So noted.
And secondly, to thank the Speaker for a clarification, which otherwise, look, I heard this in the Judiciary Committee. I'm on the Judiciary Committee. And not to say that the language is loosey-goosey, but we never got the answer that we got today on the floor. And words make a difference. And today it's clear that this is a fundraiser prohibition only when this state legislature is in session, and it doesn't say if you're the governor and you're always in session that you cannot raise money, or the lieutenant governor, or the city council, or the prosecutor, because that's the way it was read in the committee hearing. Only today on the floor do I understand what this bill really means, but look, the language is a bit loosey-goosey, and if some of the people sort of have a sense of, well, are you sure you're not going to come against this? I'd like to see the committee report or whatever we do after we vote on this, and I will vote for it. I have reservations, but I'll vote for it. But let us be very clear. This is not something that we're pushing everybody aside. We're trying to do it for the sake of clarity that when we're in session, we're not going to ask people for money, and it goes across the board. But we're not shutting anybody down, because that was the reading in the Judiciary Committee hearing that we left with, and I'm not the only member of that. For those reasons, Mr. Speaker, with reservations, and thanking the Speaker for the clarification on the floor, not in the committee. Thank you.
So ordered. And you're welcome. Speaker did an excellent job at explaining it in a concise manner. Thank you. Representative McKelvey.
Speaker, in support.
In support, please
and
proceed.
Would just like to know that if the previous speaker had been at the reconsideration hearing that was held, he would have had his questions answered then and could have seen that we took steps with the speaker's guidance to make this bill much better and to pass it out in the form which the members, I think, will support. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? Stand-Come Report 1837. Okay, if not, thank you, members. Moving on to Stand-Come Report number 1838, discussion. Stand-Come Report number 1839, discussion.
Mr. Speaker,
Representative Wahlberger.
thank you. No vote, please.
No vote. So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Representative Peruso.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Capella.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Tokioka.
No vote.
So ordered. Further discussion, Stand-Come Report 1839. Representative Ganaden.
Reservations, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered.
Brief comment.
Please proceed.
I believe this bill just unifies the capacity and for U.S. Customs and Immigration Naturalization Services to arrest under state law. It just clarifies what is already under law. I think that we have some understandable and necessary reactions to seeing ICE being given broader authority to arrest individuals under state law, and I think that our wariness should continue indefinitely. But I think that this just clarifies what is already in statute. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Yes, Representative Tam.
Reservations.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? If not, members will be taking a voice vote on these second reading bills. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Members, are there any announcements? Representative Matsumoto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As all of the members of the House know, today is the Women's Legislative Caucus Easter Basket Day. So directly after session, we can come to the front right across from the auditorium. I did want to just take the opportunity. Could I have some late introductions?
Absolutely.
I wanted to introduce up in the gallery, we have members. So for the parents and children together, if you can please rise. We have Salvation Army, Domestic Violence Action Center, and IHS. If you can all rise and be welcomed by the House of Representatives. These organizations are going to be the ones that are going to be bringing our Easter baskets to all of the women and children in need. So we also will have a big surprise with our Easter bunny and our Easter duck. So please come down, bring your baskets, and take photos. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for what you do. Any other announcements? Sorry, any other announcements? Okay, if not, members, for the motion to adjourn, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 12 o'clock noon tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Representative Matsumoto.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 12 noon tomorrow.
Members will be announcing the Easter Bunny and duck right now, so please come out, and I think you will all enjoy who